power, ambition, strategy. The Empire was shaped by three brilliant minds, each ruthless in their own way. Grand Moff Tarkin, the Iron Fist of Fear. Director Krennic, the relentless architect of destruction. Grand Admiral Thrawn, the strategist who turned war into art. All three changed the course of the galaxy. This is Tarkin versus Krennic versus Thrawn, Star Wars' smartest villain. Before we begin, drop your pick in the comments and tell me why. Tarkin was more than a commander. He was the Empire's iron fist. He built control through fear, ruling systems with an unyielding grip. Tarkin's Death Star wasn't just a weapon, it was a statement, a symbol of absolute power designed to crush rebellion before it could begin. His doctrine echoed long after his death, inspiring terror across the galaxy. Yet Tarkin's brilliance was tempered by rigidity. This inflexibility blinded him at times, preventing him from anticipating the cunning of the Rebel Alliance, like when the crew of the Ghost outsmarted Imperial forces by exploiting their predictable tactics and over-reliance on brute force, showing that his strict doctrine couldn't adapt to guerrilla warfare and unconventional strategy. Krennic's ambition was unmatched. He poured everything into engineering the Empire's deadliest weapon, the Death Star, driven by a desire for power and recognition. But ambition alone wasn't enough to secure his place in the Empire's brutal hierarchy. Krennic played a dangerous game of imperial politics, constantly navigating rivalries and power struggles that threatened to undo him. One of his greatest flaws was his inability to truly read people, especially those closest to him. Galen Erso, the scientist at the heart of the Death Star project, was an obvious traitor in hindsight, secretly sabotaging the weapon from within. Yet Krennic failed to see through the cracks in his control, blinded by his own obsession and desire for success. And when the Death Star finally fired, its catastrophic failure was not just a military disaster, it was the collapse of Krennic's carefully built empire. His greatest achievement became his greatest downfall. Then there's Thrawn, the Grand Admiral. Unlike Tarkin and Krennic, Thrawn's strength wasn't in rank or fear, it was in intellect. He studied art, culture, and behavior to understand his enemies. He predicted their moves before they made them. One of his most brilliant plays came during his hunt for a rebel spy known as Fulcrum. Thrawn suspected the traitor was embedded within his own command. When Agent Kallus framed Lieutenant Leist to divert suspicion, most Imperials, including Governor Price, accepted it. But Thrawn saw through the performance. Kallus was too eager, too precise. His accusations didn't match the data. By orchestrating the scenario and observing every reaction, Thrawn let Kallus reveal himself. Kallus had no idea he'd been caught. Thrawn didn't just outfight his enemies, he outthought them. While others were defeated or discarded, Thrawn vanished, alive, calculating, and still playing the long game. So who was the Empire's smartest villain? Not the highest rank. Tarkin wielded terror, but was inflexible, not the biggest weapon. Krennic built the Death Star, but it failed. The smartest was the one who outthought and outmaneuvered everyone. Thrawn. He didn't just outfight his enemies, he made them destroy themselves. His mind remains the ultimate threat, long after his disappearance. Subscribe for more deep dives into Star Wars content